and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Still fast. Of course not. They'll stand when they can't do.
Okay. It is 6:14. We're starting the Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council meeting. And today's date is the 14th of October. So, with that said, let's go ahead and take roll.
Christina Barbera.
Here.
John Barbera.
Here.
Christina Calandra.
Here.
Vic Christensen here. Adrian Fernandez will probably be late. He'll be excused. Cynthia Gagne is excused. Gwen Henry.
Present.
Alonzo Jenkins is excused. April Jones is excused. Melanie LeBrecq.
Here.
Kelly Miller.
Here.
Kane Nicholas.
Here.
Thomas Norman.
Here.
Ray Regalado.
Here.
Angela Sumner.
Here.
So that's 11 present.
Chris Valle here.
Ray.
So,
He did? Yeah. Okay.
okay, we're going to move on to agenda item number 2. And that is general public comment on non-agenda items. We have a few speaker cards. Another one is being filled out in a moment. So if there is something any of you would like to say and it's not on the agenda, you have to fill out a speaker card so that we can get you up to the podium and officially make your announcement. 2 minutes max on our speaker card, people. So with that, I'm going to go in the order that I received them. First one is from Ellen Franz. John, keep track?
Yeah. Thank you. A few years ago, this neighborhood council provided some seed funding for a project in Peck Park, planting native plants, and we've been working on that periodically ever since. It's still active. On November the 2nd, before the next Northwest Council meeting, there'll be a volunteer day at Peck Park at the intersection of Walker and Elberon, and we're having 70 trees donated along with volunteers from the Aquarium of the Pacific and the South Coast California Native Plant Society. And if anybody needs community service hours or anything like that, or just feels the urge to do something that's good for the park, good for the environment, good for San Pedro, it'll be 9 to 12 on Sunday, November the 2nd, at the Elberon Walker access point into the park.
Next, Victor Christensen as a stakeholder.
A couple of related things. One, Smile and Jack is happening this year, the 30th and 31st of this month from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Second thing is, I don't know all the details, but from what I understand, Governor Newsom is trying to give some incentives or something to keep the 2 local refineries open. So if that happens, then they may not close. But I don't know for sure exactly what's going on with that one. With the El Segundo refinery fire and the common action of when a refinery has problems, this price is spiking and then taking their time to come back down. I think that is part of the goal, is to keep that from happening. So we'll have to watch that and see if anything comes out of the governor's office that ends up keeping the refineries open. Even if this one does stay open, I still think we should push to close down the Rancho LPG part of that property to at least solve that problem. That's all.
Next is Christina Calandra as a stakeholder.
I just wanted to make an announcement from the Water Replenishment District. There is now a student art contest for ages kindergarten to 6th grade. And your artwork is due by November 2nd. I will put the flyer up at the front in case there's any siblings here that are on the younger side that want to put some artwork in the contest for the student artwork, just to get involved. And I don't know if the younger kids need community service as well. So thank you very much.
Next, we have Gwendolyn Henry as a stakeholder.
Well, today was a day of storms. My LA 311 should have been used by a lot of people. On my own street, the palm tree fronds came down in crazy amounts. And we also, at Bandini and First, there's a light out. So those are the kind of things that go on my LA 311. Now, I'm here to ask if anybody is having difficulty with the new My LA 311 app. You have to re-sign in. It isn't the same as you had before. Also, if, for example, I submitted a ticket for bees in the tree, I would never have called it in except for they were stinging me in mass and were going after my dogs. So I had to call it for the ceiling. It took 3 months. Even though that is one of those emergency calls. So, and for the palm fronds, somebody from the city came and picked up from the corner, and I was like, oh, hi, how are you guys doing? You going to do the whole street? And they said, no, we're only doing that one house. Every single person at every house has to do the my LA 311 ticket to get their house done. So these are reforms that I'm working on. I'm trying to get as much input as possible because I'm also a member of the Community Forestry Advisory Committee, and we're working with the city in order to improve these things. So if you could please email your your to this email address, gwendolynz@hotmail.com. Now it's GWENDOLYN, Z as in zebra, at hotmail.com. And please put in there my LA 311 tickets so I can find them. Okay? Thank you very much. And guys, you can do that too. You know, get on the app. Anybody, it used to be that you needed a bill and be an adult with a LADWP bill. Not anymore. Everybody can sign in. If you see a problem,
Gwen?
Do it.
Time. Thank you. Next is Kane Nicholas as a stakeholder.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Kane Nicholas. I'm representing as a stakeholder. And what I wanted to do is to bring to the attention of this particular council and community a statement that was recently adopted by the Greater Toluca Lake Neighborhood Council, or the GTLCN, where they reviewed and considered objections from two attorneys in the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office who sought to limit their free speech and advocacy. From that, they looked to take action to. They found objection to the unconvincing and inconsistent with the independence and duty to represent its stakeholders. In response, they reaffirmed that right and the right for all neighborhood councils, so that way we can communicate and advocate freely on the behalf of our communities without objections. Thank you.
Thank you. And the last card that I have here is from Angela Sumner as a stakeholder.
I just wanted to thank the council for supporting the many winter gathering of elders. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for supporting the many winter gathering of the elders. This was the first time I've had the opportunity to go, and it was such an amazing experience. I just wanted to come back and share that with you and encourage anybody who's interested to go next year. It's the weekend leading up to Indigenous Peoples Day, and elders from across the country from different tribes come and share and pass down their stories, and it's really worthwhile. I really encourage you to go. Thank you.
Okay, that was the last public comment card that we received. So agenda item number 2 is now closed, and we're going to move on to agenda item number 3, which is our homelessness liaison report. Lori Jacobs.
Good evening, board. Good evening, students. As usual, there's a lot in my report, so I'm just going to kind of hit the highlights. And if you want more information, I have links to them, or you can email or call me. The CD15 working group had their last in-person meeting. They'll probably just provide updates. If you're interested, you can sign up to receive them. So the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment Homelessness Liaison meeting a few weeks ago, I was one of the presenters. So they wanted me to share different ideas of what neighborhood councils can do to address homelessness or people in need. I have a link there if you want to watch me. What would be great is it felt a little weird that I was giving them all the suggestions, and quite honestly, this neighborhood council hasn't really done a lot of those things, so they asked me to report on it. So I just hope that the different committees will take a look at some of those ideas and think, especially with the winter months coming up and people, out on the streets in the cold weather, consider some things. I have a little blurb about the Housing Rights Center, which focuses on fair housing, as you're right. And you can click on the link. Unfortunately, the current administration is criticizing all fair housing programs right now. They want to abolish it. So this program and other programs like this have a big chance of being cut. I'm hoping not, because this is a great resource for people to know their rights on housing. At the Congress of Neighborhoods, I know some of you went there. It was great to see you. I went to the workshop on homelessness, the county's evolving role in a regional homeless crisis. They did a great job in having 3 county top people up there presenting. So I couldn't share their presentation, but I have a link to their website that kind of has similar information. And a lot of this discussed Measure A. How are they going to figure out what they're doing with Measure A? Obviously, there's not enough money to cover all the programs, and the revenue we expected with the increase in sales tax is not what they expected, because the economy is hurting and people are not spending money on retail. For the next 2 days, I've been selected to collaborate on a design workshop to go over this. And basically, we're going to collaborate with about 60 people from the Service Planning 8 to report out on, 1, how to implement Measure A regional goals with an explicit focus on reducing racial and ethnic disparities. 2, create conditions for success for community providers, the service providers, through its structure, programs, and contracting and payment process, because we know there were a lot of problems with LASA and contracts and payments. And the third one, which I really like this, is establish a sustainable ongoing feedback mechanism that keeps the community's voice central after the workshops end. So it's 2 full days. I don't know how much I'll be able to report next month, but I'm looking forward to this. Let's see, I have some links to a state bill, but what I want to bring your attention to here is I have 3 LA City Council files to consider filing community impact statements on. And I do each month try to find some. I haven't seen necessarily that they have gone anywhere. I'm just trying to present to you ideas that we could weigh in on. The first one, we had a presentation, not last month, the month before, from Circle Team. And now there's a city council file, because that was a pilot program, right? Just have that program throughout the entire city. And because that's the only 24/7 program out there, I think this could really make a difference. So I'm suggesting that the safety committee possibly take this one up. Okay, I don't usually put my recommendations in here, but in this case, I really do recommend that you at least analyze it and see if it's something that you can support. Having said that, I don't know budget-wise how much budget would be needed for that. That might be something we could reach out to our council member on. The second council file is talking about the continuum of care and federal grant programming. Take a look at that one. And the third one, possibly also for the safety committee, and this is health and safety of the Los Angeles County Code. Okay, so this one I have very mixed emotions on it, because LA Council's got a motion out there that's talking about extreme heat. You know, I'm on the Climate Emergency Mobilization Committee, so I care that extreme heat actually causes more deaths than extreme winter cold. And the county also has a motion similar to this. They want to require that all habitable rooms in covered rental units need to be kept or below 82 degrees. Okay? Now, initially I thought, yeah, that's great, but we have to think through this, because this is going to be on the backs of the property owners, the landlords. They will have to install these. And they cannot pass those costs on because of rent control. So this is kind of like, which makes more sense? Okay, because landlords will have to walk away from properties if they can't afford to manage them. So I have a couple of questions just to think about. Landlords could be encumbered with a huge expense that cannot be passed on. Is this reasonable? And then here, let's say they do this. Will renters be able to afford the higher utility costs of running an air conditioner if they're already, economically challenged? And more importantly, too, is our grid even able to handle this much? So I just think it would be a good discussion item. I'm not saying one way or another, because I see both sides of this. Okay?
Yeah, we'll take them both up, Lori.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you. And then I just have, as usual, my actions that the neighborhood council can take, and recommended that untrained people, including myself, never interact with somebody out on the street experiencing homelessness or mental health or anything you see. I've given you resources to call. I can tell you in the last month, I have been able to contact Circle Team in 3 instances and got them to respond. I will tell you, one time I called, I was on hold for 22 minutes, and I said, my time's now. I hung up. 10 minutes later, LAPD called me and said, did you just call our helpline?
Oh, wow.
So I'm trying to find out if this is a new process. Somebody else told me this. I don't know if it's because I held for so long or what, and I gave them the information, and they made the outreach call. I've seen good things with the Circle Team. There's still some inherent issues there. But anyway, that's pretty much all I'm going to go over. So unless anybody has any questions.
Okay, thank you. I've mentioned it before, I'll say it again. Lori's reports are very
thorough.
What?
Comprehensive.
Thank you with the word comprehensive. And
The teacher said that.
and those reports have a lot of information, a lot of contact and resource information for all of you out in the audience, especially who might be hearing of this for the first time. It's really important that we look after every member of our community. And believe it or not, the people who are experiencing homelessness are members of our community. So let's be responsible for them and help them along. So I'm going to go ahead and take any questions anyone might have from around the table.
Ray, can I just add too?
Yes.
The more well-informed we all are, If you see somebody in need, just driving back from City Hall today, the Uber driver heard Dave and I talking about homelessness and started asking us a million questions. And it was so great to be able to share that. And after I did my presentation at the homelessness liaison meeting, I've been contacted by 5 or 6 liaisons saying, we didn't even know what our role is. You're giving us ideas. And that's all I wanted to do, was try to get people to pay attention, to know you can do something little. And like I tell you guys every time, just help one person, one family. People are dying out on the streets. It's a humanitarian issue. I just wanted to add that.
So we're going to go ahead and take comments. We're going to start with Gwen.
Laurie, it's always amazing to hear your reports.
Thank you.
Couple of things. Are there numbers now with the economy slump for people who are on the verge of homelessness? Is that something that is also being attended to? We don't have just families who might be on the verge because there's a government job that was just laid off. There's also students who may be suffering out there. So, college, there's a lot of homeless college students. Is there any data on that? And also, how taxed is our food distribution programs here? Of course, the military for a period of time. The families here have been going to the food banks, and I'm wondering if we have enough for everyone that needs it in San Pedro, and how is that working out?
Well, let me tackle your first question first. Prevention. You're talking about prevention, proactive prevention. Supervisor Hahn made sure they added funding in the Measure A program. I'll learn more about this, but there's only so much money to go out. And I told you guys before, the California Policy Lab created a program to try to, I never can explain this right, they have algorithms where they have data that suggest certain people may fall into that category based on whether they're on welfare, SSI, where they live, certain things. And they're doing a program, and maybe next month I'll get an update on that. It's to proactively reach out to them and say, we see what your economic situation is, and offer them assistance before they get to that point. So prevention is supposed to be one of the goals and measurements. But when you say data, how do you calculate data for somebody who hasn't reached that position yet? Okay, as far as food programs, there are a ton of food programs going on now, more than ever, especially with the ICE issues. There are families that are afraid to go to the market, and there are organizations who are delivering food. And maybe I can get a list next time of some of the food distribution, and get you guys that information. But I can't, offhand, I can't think of all of them, but there are programs out there to help people with food. I've picked up food at the Venice Family Clinic and taken them to the Wilmington Y, and they have a food program there. And I don't know if our YMCA here does, but I believe the YWCA does. I think Toberman does. There's quite a few organizations that are helping people with food. Maybe that's something our neighborhood council can look into.
Thank you. Any other questions from around the table? Seeing no other hands here. Opportunity from anyone in the audience for a question for Lori? Okay, I see no hands. Lori, thank you very much for the information.
Thank you guys for letting me be in service. Thank you.
So that closes agenda item number 3. Moving on to 4, elected governmental and public safety representatives. I would like to see, is there anyone from city, county, state representatives?
Pretty rare.
Law enforcement? They might have snuck in.
Nope.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on. No information there. The consent calendar, number 5. We have 4 items on the consent calendar. I'll trains in. So the 4 items on the consent calendar is to approve the September 8th board and stakeholder meeting minutes, approve the September 13th board retreat minutes, committee liaisons, representatives, and other appointments that we have addressed previously, but if there's any new ones, approve them. And finally, approve the September 2025 budget. That's coming from Budget and Finance. The other ones are coming from the Executive Committee. So can I get a motion from someone around the table?
So moved.
Second, if you need it, Gwen.
Okay. Any discussion?
We need to remove one item, item B.
Under what?
The retreat minutes.
Consent calendar. The retreat minutes are not, were not submitted, so.
Okay, we will be removing item B, the retreat minutes. So now we have 3 items. Any other comments? Okay. Can we take a vote?
Okay, Christina Barbera.
Hi.
John Barbera.
Aye.
Christina Calandra.
Aye.
Vic Grisnitz, aye. Gwen Henry.
Aye.
Melanie LeBrecq.
Aye.
Kelly Miller.
Aye.
Kay Nicholas. Ray Regalado.
Aye.
Angela Sumner.
Yes.
Chris Valle.
Aye.
And Thomas is ineligible. So that's 11 ayes and 1 ineligible.
Okay. Ready to move on? Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, that takes care of our consent calendar. Item 5, moving on to agenda item number 6, motions. And for the record, Kay Nicholas, oops, I turned off my phone. He has just left. He had another
6:40.
meeting, 6:40. Okay, item number 6, we'll start off with budget and finance. Item A,
Okay.
Melanie/John.
Well, it should be just Melanie.
Yeah, I just realized that.
But anyway,
The reason it was there is because the committee listing had not been approved yet.
So to start off with, these are going to be need motions as well as seconds to them. Explanation. They're events that we have planned that were already allocated, a couple of them for the year, but Outreach did not address them in their meeting. So the executive board took it up, and we decided at executive board that rather than us push it through, to allow the board to motion and second it and then vote on it.
Individually?
Each individual item, yes. So the first one is the MER, obviously, which wasn't ready from the city clerk's office. So that is on page, let's see here. It's on page 15.
I motion that we consider it. I motion that we consider it.
Yeah, we have to have a motion and a second for this. Each thing has to have a motion.
So Gwen,
Seconded by John Barbera.
What? Who was? You
John
motioned,
seconded.
right, John?
no, I
He
motion.
motioned.
Oh, Gwen motion and John second. Alrighty. So any discussion? If not, call for the vote. John?
Yes.
Victor?
Aye.
Ray?
Yes.
Christina Barbera?
Yes.
Gwen?
Aye.
Melanie, yes. Kelly?
Yes.
Angela?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
And Christina Caldera?
Yes.
Okay. So the next is the parade for $500. That's our sponsorship for the parade to participate as a board. This was previously allocated, so this is a motion to use the money.
I move that we consider the item. Will we have a discussion period?
Gwen, okay, and second?
I'll second it.
Christina?
Kelly Miller.
Kelly.
Huh?
Kelly Miller.
Oh, Kelly. Whoops, sorry. And discussion.
Is this once again participation in the parade
Yes, in the trolley.
and the trolley?
And walking with the banner.
But also, the $500 is really honestly for the parade to have
It's
it.
participation in
Yeah.
the parade, sponsorship, being in the trolley. It's for the board, not the families, for the board.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'll walk. I'll walk with the sign.
so that being said, any more discussion? John?
Yes.
Victor?
Abstain.
Abstain? Ray?
Yes.
Christina Barbera?
Yes.
Adrian?
Yes.
Gwen?
Aye.
Melanie, yes. Kelly?
Yes.
Angela?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
And Christina Caldera?
Yes.
Okay. Next.
Just for the record, Adrian Fernandez arrived at 6:45 p.m.
The next item is for Candy Cane Lane, which is a down at Weymouth Corners every year where they have the booths and Santa and all kinds of activities down at Weymouth Corners and 8th Street. This will be happening. It's been confirmed. And so there was a question whether or not it was going to or not. And so it's $1,000 every year for us to participate. So I need a motion.
I motion. That would be Gwen.
Second.
Kelly?
Christina.
Or Christina? You guys sound alike. Then discussion. Any discussion?
Me again.
John Barbera.
She has a question.
Oh. Who?
Did you have a question?
No.
It's actually for the Youth and Outreach Committee. What kind of promotions are for that? And before you say anything further, I'm hoping that we'll go to something a little greener than we've had. You know, all the plastic, all of the styrofoam is a bit concerning. If there is any way of going with a more green version of what we've given in the past. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, no, what we're doing is the same. It's only the ornaments that we do every year.
The craft.
The craft. That's all we do.
Right.
We
And
give them
candy
out.
canes.
They put the ornaments. I mean, we can't. It's for the kids. You know.
Well, even if it's wood, you know, I'm just saying.
It's too expensive.
It is. We're only budgeted to a certain amount.
We only have, and that's not part of this. This is for the sponsorship. We only have like $200 to spend on crafts and candy canes.
Well, matter of fact, we're going to add.
Yeah.
We had to add because it's just. We have to double up on what we've had. They've gone up in price, but.
And this is really something that we would
Yeah.
discuss in the committee meeting when we're
Yeah.
actually planning it.
Yeah. So we're limited. So John,
Yes.
Victor,
Abstain.
Ray,
Yes.
Christina Barbera,
Yes.
Adrian. Gwen,
Aye.
Melanie, yes. Kelly,
Yes.
Angela,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
and Christina Caldera.
Yes.
Okay, now the next one. You'll see on page, these are all in here. That's the parade. Okay. These are for the candy canes and then the craft things for the kids. They went up. And so between the candy canes, John did this with me, and the candy canes are $54.95, and then the ornaments are $151.93.
Yeah, because they
He's like, Melanie, these are going to be over $200 for it. So how do we do this, Ray? Because they're going to need like $225 instead of $200.
Do a friendly amendment
A friendly amendment for $225.
up to $25.
Okay. Yeah, because when John was doing his research, he goes, wait, they went up in price. So
that will,
Don't ever do that again.
So the motion would be for Candy Cane Lane crafts and candy canes for $225.
Motion that we approve this.
So move by who? Kelly?
and seconded by Gwen.
And second by Gwen?
Yes.
So discussion? Okay, John?
Yes.
Victor?
Abstain.
Ray?
Yes.
Christina?
Yes.
Adrian?
Yes.
Gwen?
Aye.
Huh?
Yes.
Melanie, yes. Kelly?
Yes.
Angela?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
And Christina Caldera?
Yes.
It's
Now, huh?
Calandra.
Calandra. Why does it?
The caldera
I'm
is
reading-
the mouth of
Because
a
you wrote
volcano.
Calandra. Okay. I guess there's letters missing here on this. I'll blame the printer. The next is CD15 tree lighting. It's their event, and we will be tabling this, and it's $500.
Is this on the same day as the day before the parade?
No, everything
Yeah.
is the 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Okay.
So it's like 3 days in a row.
Wow.
It's like Friday, Saturday.
Yeah,
and Sunday.
candy canes on the 5th, tree lighting, Winter Wonderland's on the 6th, and the parade's on the
Parade's
7th.
on the 7th.
Is
Yeah.
there discussion on all of these activities for a moment?
Huh?
Did Youth and Outreach
There's been a
assign?
sign, yeah, but
Okay.
your email throws it, so.
All right, okay.
I sent,
We'll talk.
everybody has an email I sent with the list and who can be where and what. Yeah, about a week and a half ago.
So I need a motion and a second.
I motion that we sponsor the tree lighting.
And
Second.
Christina Calandra, second.
Okay, and any discussion? That being said, John Barbera,
See?
Victor,
Abstain.
Ray Regalado,
Yes.
Christina Barbera,
Yes.
Adrian,
Yes.
Gwen,
Abstain.
okay, Melanie, yes, Kelly,
Yes.
Angela,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
and Christina Calandra.
Yes.
I should have asked during discussion, but do we have a table or anything at the tree lighting?
Huh?
Yes.
It's a tabling event.
Yeah.
But
That's
and-
way we can skirt around the 30-day thing on
Gotcha.
that too, because it's a tabling event. That's why we're doing the Halloween thing, because it was a last-minute email from Peck Park.
Also, what we do is any ornament,
Yeah.
we'll have whatever's left from candy cane will go to the next night to the
Right.
tree. That's what we did last year.
So the next one is the Halloween Funtown here at Peck Park, which is on October 25th. They last minute emailed us and wanted candy and support, so we're going to do candy with the little bags like we've done before. So again, we're going to need a motion.
I'll move
Second.
I'll move it.
And second,
Christina.
Adrian?
Christina Barbera.
Oh, because Adrian had his hand up.
She did first.
Oh, okay. Oh, well. Any discussion on this?
Yeah, when is the Dia de los Muertos day down at downtown San Pedro?
Sunday the 26th.
Oh, it's okay. So they're
No, this is for Peck Park.
Yeah, I know, but I just want to make sure the 25th and the 26th. Yeah.
No,
So it's,
just the 26th.
no,
This is for
I
the
under-
25th.
Oh.
I'm understanding what I'm saying is the movie at the park is on the 25th, and
It's
then-
not a movie in the park.
Oh, it's just
It's
a
Halloween Funtown Day from 11 to 3.
All right,
here
that's
at
on the
Peck Park.
25th, and the other one is on
It's not
26th.
ours,
so
it's
they don't
Peck
conflict.
Park's.
That's all I wanted to make sure.
Oh, wait a minute. There is a movie.
Huh?
There's a movie thing this Friday at Crafted, Beetlejuice. That's a Crafted. That's a Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
This weekend, Beetlejuice.
But all we'll be doing is I will purchase the bags and the candy and getting them to John. And it's going to have to be a collaboration of people stuffing those bags to get them ready for the 25th. And we'll get a group together to do that.
Yeah, Christina said, come on over and she'll cook.
Yeah.
Oh, she did.
I just told John that in my condition, I can't do them all this time like I did all 300 last time
When-
that we did it.
When is the bag stuffing day?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know.
Well, yeah, as soon as she gets it. Yeah,
As soon as I get them.
Yeah.
I'm going to order them probably right away tomorrow, so that way we get them right away.
John's cooking dinner for us.
I'll go.
So, John,
No. Yes.
Victor, Ray,
Yes.
Christina Barbera,
Yes.
Adrian,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Melanie, yes, Kelly,
Yes.
Angela,
Yes.
Christian, Valley,
Yes.
and Christina again.
Yes.
24th.
How long?
Okay, so that is it. Yay.
All right. That takes care of 6A. Moving on to 6B, Planning and Land Use and Port Committee. And that'll be Thomas Norman.
Yes. All right. I've got a document, NOP, that I'll have to read. We did have our committee chair send this, but unfortunately it didn't make the packet. My father was an auctioneer, so I'll try to go fast. If it's too fast, tell me to slow down, but I know we don't want to spend all night here. So this is going to be a Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council comment letter on the Phillips 66 5 Points Union Project. If you want to write down the reference number, it's ENV for environment, file number -2025 for this calendar year, -3744 EIR, which stands for Environmental Impact Report. What the committee has chosen to do this year is to have a simpler, shorter document. In the past, you may have seen me present work done with the naves that could be 8 or 12 pages, so thankfully this is only 2 pages. The Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council is submitting detailed comments to the LA Department of City and Planning on the proposed redevelopment of the former Phillips 66 refinery site, now called the 5 Points Union Project. At 444 acres, this is one of the largest redevelopment efforts in Southern California. This project could include a mix of commercial, recreational, and large-scale industrial uses. The City of LA is preparing an environmental impact report to study the potential effects. Our focus. Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council's comments emphasize cleaner, safer, and more community-serving development at the northern gateway to San Pedro. The Council calls for the City to fully study traffic, air quality, lighting, cleanup, and job impacts before any approvals move forward. Okay, and very robust discussion for the last 2 committee meetings, lots of input from all board members, and lots of outreach to the community led us to these top issues and requests. So should you have others, please feel free to let me or any of the members of this committee know, but this is what we're asking you to vote on tonight. Traffic and safety. Bullet 1. Require a comprehensive traffic study covering Gaffey Street, John S. Gibson Boulevard, Anaheim Street, and the 110 freeway. Support construction of a modern roundabout at 5 Points to ease congestion and improve safety. 2, create a truck route management plan to prevent cutoff traffic in neighborhoods. 3, analyze site connectivity to current and proposed public transportation and infrastructure, for example, light rail, bicycle, pedestrian access. Second top issue, air quality and noise. Study diesel emissions, idling, and nighttime truck operations from proposed fulfillment centers. 2, include a study of the cumulative air quality impacts of the Port of Los Angeles, refinery operations, and the construction period. 3, require a study on the implementation of clean truck infrastructure for all project phases, electric charging, anti-idling enforcement. Okay, that's page 1. Page 2, lighting and visual impacts. Analyze and mitigate the visual impacts of high-mast yard or stadium-style lighting that may create noticeable bright spots when viewed from higher elevation communities, including Palos Verdes, Gaffey Street level neighborhoods. So those of you who don't want lights shining into your homes at night. 2, model or illustrate nighttime glare and noise for residents and park users. 3, study the visual impact of structures, including the grade elevation and topography. Next category, land use and housing. 1, include an alternative in the EIR that studies housing and retail development along Anaheim Street instead of all industrial use. Heard that a lot in this room. 2, encourage the utilization of light industrial and clean tech uses instead of exclusively warehouse development. 3, support a zone change to allow housing and community serving amenities on the northern parcels. Next category, cleanup and site remediation. 1, require public transparency in all phases of remediation and cleanup sequencing for the former refinery and Rancho LPG parcels. 2, ensure third-party monitoring and community oversight of soil and groundwater remediation. Next category, jobs and workforce development. 1, evaluate the quality and longevity of jobs created under each alternative. 2, develop a workforce development study connecting local hiring to Harbor College, LAUSD career pathway programs, and apprenticeship opportunities. 3, prioritize next-generation careers in clean energy, technology, and construction, not just warehouse labor. Final category, thank you for your patience, regional coordination and equity. Bullet 1, support a harbor-wide EAR review process that involves Wilmington, Harbor City, Central, and the coastal neighborhood councils. 2, call for the creation of a 5 Points community advisory group to monitor cleanup, traffic, and community benefits. And final bullet, request inclusion of a community benefits agreement, CBA, that funds air monitoring, park improvements, tree planting, and youth training programs. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you for being expedient.
Okay. We need a motion. No? Did we get that already?
That was out of committee, correct?
Out of committee, okay. So let me, hang on. So let me just say I've been having meetings with Phillips 66. Just to give you all an appreciation of the actual project, most of the visual stuff that we'll be able to see and people will be able to appreciate is going to be along the Anaheim corridor. That's where you'll see all the athletic fields, the retail stores, the restaurants, and things of that nature. That's where the community of Wilmington will have probably its most affected location. For Northwest San Pedro, the Gaffey Street corridor from Anaheim all the way down to Westmont is going to be the stuff that's going to affect us. So I really want to impress upon you for the board and everyone who lives in the community, watch what's going to happen there, because that area, the massive remainder of the project is going to be industry. Right now, they're talking about putting warehouses up there, which means that they could increase the truck traffic going in and out of that location. But the type of industry they're putting in there is still up in the air, and they don't know what exactly is going to end up there. But right now, the plans call for anywhere from 8 to 9 massive warehouse locations. So they're planning on restricting the truck traffic on Gaffey and Anaheim, and pushing all the truck traffic on John S. Gibson, which means that there's going to have to be a creation of a a creation of a tunnel underneath the 110 freeway to get to the street. It's a massive endeavor. It's going to take years, and we have to stay on top of the project, and that's why it's so important that there be a community advisory group component to this project, so that the community is well aware of the project as it develops, because there will be changes as it goes along. For instance, the main ask by Wilmington is a housing component, of which there is absolutely no housing plan for the whole development. So there's aspects of that, and if we expect to be able to have a say in what goes there and how it's going to look, we need to be involved and engaged. So with that, right now that's what it looks like. We need to stay on top of it. I'm hoping that Planning and Land Use will continue their oversight, and also I think it's appropriate for the port, because much of the traffic is going to be associated with the Port of Los Angeles. So be prepared for a very long project as that location develops. If there's any other questions, I've seen Adrian's hand go up and down about 6 times as I was talking. So, and then I saw Kelly and then Gwen.
Thank you. No, I just want to commend the committees for the work. I just have a question. It's more of just a technical question that the motion is not in the packet, nor is it in the supporting documents on the website.
Yeah. No.
And I just don't know if we could vote on something that's not. Okay.
That is why he read it, because it wasn't posted like it should
I
have
just
been.
want that clarification. Thank you.
Kelly?
Any news on when we're getting the environmental reports?
So right now we have an NOP, which is the Notice of Preparation. The NOP is advising the community that an EIR will be prepared, and that's what the Notice of Preparation is all about, issued by the City of Los Angeles, which means that we have an opportunity to have the city consider certain aspects of what that EIR should cover. That's what this document is all about. We're asking the City of Los Angeles to make sure that the EIR is going to cover these pieces, these points that have been identified through Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council. Just so that you know, Wilmington Neighborhood Council, Harbor City Neighborhood Council, Central San Pedro, and Coastal San Pedro also have the opportunity to provide input as to what the NOP is going to, what we want the NOP to cover.
Because their original statement was that we would have it June or July.
June or July?
Just passed.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up, because I did want to cover that. Yes, the original NOP, when it was published, gave all aspects of the harbor community 30 days to comment on it. 30 days to comment. That's their natural ask. We, and my work has been throughout the whole month since from publication to the end of that 30 days, has been to advocate for a 90-day public comment period. The City of Los Angeles flat out denied us. So what I ended up doing is I ended up creating a letter on behalf, and I apologize, I had to do it quickly to meet with the demand of city planning. I wrote a letter in which I received signatures from Coastal, Central, and Wilmington neighborhood councils asking for the same thing, that we need an additional 60 days to the 30, giving us a 30-day period. Also with the request that when the EIR comes out, normal time frame for an EIR from the City of Los Angeles is 45 days. We're going to ask, and I've asked this from Council Member McCosker, that we also get a 90-day public comment period on the EIR. So that's why we have the extension. That's why the comments are due December 12th, if I'm correct. But we want to get this in as soon as possible.
Yeah, they've kind of put the cart before the horse.
Well,
And it's kind of scary that they're promoting all of this to the public. And
Excuse me just a second. Hey, could we bring it down, please? Thank you.
This is a comment that I'm making as a individual. But let me tell you, with my experience working in the county, the amount of time is evident of just how much the community want public comment. A 30-day period means that they're going to get 30 days worth of comment for those people who want to comment. 90 days means that they can get a lot more comment, and they would prefer not having that. Well, we won the first battle. Hopefully, the second battle will be we'll getting that 90-day public comment period. Neighborhood councils cannot create a public comment within 30 days. It's impossible. If we're lucky, we might be able to do 60. That's why it's important that we get a 90-day period.
Yeah, I mean, just to respond from the committee's perspective, probably individually agree too. If you listen carefully to all the areas we covered, the environmental, the light, the expertise, we really need at least 2 cycles to be prepared. And even here, then there's one blip, and we maybe, couldn't have voted on it if I didn't read it, if it was like 10 pages. So it's really unreasonable. I know when we served on the environmental committee, we had the same issues. Because if you want quality work, you have to do research, right? And it takes time. And we're volunteers. We're not paid like the city, though we have to do things, like the city weren't paid for, like training. So really wanted to support our president. Sorry to take that time.
Go ahead.
For the students out there, when you're looking at a code like what he mentioned was ENV 253744 EIR, you actually have to go to the city clerk website. It's council files. So if you just put in Los Angeles City Clerk council files, it'll come up, and then you put in that code, and it'll bring it up. These things are really interesting, and, it's really bureaucratic, and you have to have that kind of patience to get things done. And to put in your input, it takes a series of times to do it, because this isn't the only time we're going to discuss this particular issue. This is a huge project. It's on a piece of land that has had a lot of oil use. There's a lot of mitigation of the contaminants on there. And to make it residential and business and everything like that, it's a huge process. And each thing is something on its own. The landscaping isn't even a portion of this. Native plants, there's something called remediation, where you use plants to do that, and the plants suck up all the heavy metals, and then you toss them away. There's a lot of stuff that goes on with this. So
Thank you.
That's what it's about.
Any other questions from around the table?
I had an amendment, a friendly amendment.
Amendment to the
Just a
our
slight,
submission to
a
the
slight
NOP?
one. Yes, this is from the Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council, but there was about the last set of comments on the support a harbor-wide EIR review process involving Wilmington, Harbor City Central, and Coastal Neighborhood Councils. Even though this is our document, including ourselves and with ourselves, and also include Wilmington, Harbor City, so that it's clear. Yeah.
Could I modify that to say involving Northwest San Pedro?
Support a harbor-wide EIR review process with not just Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council, but including Wilmington, Harbor City. So that we're in this request.
Let me just
so
say,
no typo.
we don't know if they all will submit. Right now, I know Coastal has submitted a letter. The other ones have the opportunities to submit. So when I said that, it's a project that's going to encompass our communities. We don't know what they're going to exactly do at this particular point. I have not had a chance to talk to the other presidents to see where they're going except for Coastal. I have gotten tentative understanding from Central that they're going to be submitting something also. that still leaves. So,
Well, I just want to make sure that Northwest San Pedro is in that sentence so that it's not. It's
then
not
that's fine.
similar.
That's fine.
Add Northwest San Pedro
To that
to the list, that instead of supporting our resolution, that the EIR review process involving Northwest San Pedro, we're only adding one phrase, Northwest San Pedro, Wilmington Harbor City. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Christina?
Is there a known date for a future meeting coming up or anything that we know of?
What has been expressed to me is that they will be having future meetings. There has been no dates set. So until we hear, then we can start. But there should be more as the plan develops.
Yeah,
and I think that's something that, as a community, we should ask for.
Yeah, I thought Heather said to us when we were at Coastal.
Like I said, they have expressed that they would.
But
we
they
just
haven't.
don't. I haven't heard of any.
No, I know.
No, Heather has promised a lot of stuff, but it hasn't been followed through with.
Anything else from around the table?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
If I have something to report that's unrelated to this motion, we'll have the opportunity to discuss that later.
Can you hang on? I'm hearing a lot of noise from the back. Please keep it down, please. Thank you. I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Sure, I'm sorry. The Port Committee is going to have a portion that's unrelated to this motion later in this meeting. Is that accurate? If I have something for Port unrelated to this vote?
8F. It's later in the agenda.
Okay.
Anything else?
Well, I can't vote, I didn't speak in favor, but I hope others will vote in favor of this. 444 acres for the young people here. I hope you get involved. Imagine the Costco, the Topgolf, the ability to live there and get more affordable housing. This is going to be one of the biggest things that we do in our community. This will really make a difference. So I do encourage those eligible to vote.
If I can just add to that, Tom, the way I have heard it identified is that at this particular point, this is the largest project in the city of Los Angeles right now, and then has been around for quite a long time, and it's happening in our backyard, and there may not be another project this big looking forward. Go ahead.
And, you know, all of you who are thinking of the future, you can have a say on whether there's solar involved with this, how much solar, resiliency, the types of materials, all of these things. You still have an opportunity to voice your ideas because, you know, there's a lot of old farts on that may not be thinking about those things. So, I'm just saying. But this process is the NOP. There's probably going to be a draft EIR that's submitted. And then we comment again because they may have ignored all this and put whatever they want, and then we ask for it again. So that's the way it works, and then an EIR.
Thank you. Here's an opportunity. Any of you have questions out there for a comment period? I see no hands, so let's go ahead and take a vote.
Christina Barbera.
Yes.
John Barbera.
Yes.
Christina Calandra.
Yes.
Vic Christensen, aye. Adrian Fernandez.
Yes.
Gwen Henry.
Aye.
Melanie LeBret.
Yes.
Kelly Miller.
Yes.
Thomas Norman.
Yes.
Ray Regalado.
Yes.
Angela Summer.
Yes.
Chris Valle.
Yes.
Unanimous with 12.
All right. Thank you very much, Tom. Appreciate it. Okay, that ends agenda item number 6, and we'll move on to the President's and Port meetings.
7 can be very quick. They canceled again, didn't they? Right? So no report.
Yeah.
Not like there's anything going on.
Sorry. Just as a comment, I'm a bit frustrated with as much stuff that goes on in the Port of Los Angeles, and we have not had any real substantive information for our review, for our information, for any of that, and I'm a little bit bothered by that.
Kind of scary.
It is. It is. So, yeah,
They do what they want.
they do what they want.
No action is a response.
True.
So with that, we'll move on. Agenda item number 8, we have reports from our committees, and we'll start with Bylaws and Elections Committee. And that'll be by Adrian Fernandez.
Hello. Very brief report. First committee meeting is going to be on Monday, next Monday, 6:30 on Zoom for 8A1, 8A2. I'm going to start looking at trying to fill that Averill seat. Looking at the person who kind of lost the last one in March or so. Maybe kind of reaching out to her if she's interested in reapplying again. And then 8A3, the bylaw revision period is from August 1st to April 1st. If you have any amendments, please email them to me. I sent out an email twice, one to my committee and one to the entire board. I would like to have them all at least by Friday before the meeting. I've had individual group conversations with people, so just getting a feel on what the board wants. So, yes.
This is just kind of nuts and bolts, but could you refresh me and anybody else what the difference is between standing rules and bylaws?
In a very 101 thing, the bylaws is like a constitution, and then the standing rules are like individual laws. The best way I can describe it. So the bylaws supersede standing rules.
Gotcha, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Just some.
If I had someone interested in the Averill seat, do they come to the committee meetings? Remind me what the procedure is.
What? I didn't hear.
Someone interested in the Averill board seat.
I'm going to defer that to the executive committee.
Yeah, I think that either, I would imagine executive would probably be the best place to start.
Okay.
For what?
If somebody was interested in the Averill seat.
Well, we got to put
Yeah.
we got to put the 30-day. We have to. You and I have.
We have to put out a call for candidates with the rules on how to apply.
It'll be
and
published,
so on.
and then they contact the
But
certain
it's
email
not
with
true.
their
It's not
application.
coming to the executive committee.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if a person wanted to come.
No, that should
But
be
it'll be
the.
published with an email to send your application into.
So yeah, I mean, there's a 30-day period, and then they'll have to fill up the application and everything. So
Yeah, we got to do it like we did the UC.
I mean, if Angela, any recommendation, just have them email me, and I can work with Ray and pick on it.
Perfect.
But
I will
that-
do
Any other
that. Thank you.
questions?
That person should probably go to committees anyway, just to see how they work and come to board meetings as a. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right, that's my report.
And come
Thank
to
you.
some of the activities.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So next is the Budget and Finance Committee.
Just no report other than just make sure that you're getting your submissions for your events and going forward so that we can, because I've been told by a certain person that heads the executive committee that we aren't going to be taking up things at an executive committee, that's not what it's for anymore. So the certain person in the middle. And so so it's important for the committees to get their stuff submitted if they need money, to have a 30-day grace so that I can submit it to the city clerk, especially if it has to do with tabling an event or doing an event or anything like that. Because they have to have submission for permission at least 30 days in advance. So it makes it difficult and puts us in a precarious position. So, anyway.
We're kind of short.
Huh?
Can I speak?
Yeah. I mean, did you want to say something?
Yeah.
The mic.
Yeah, say something.
I'll feel
Use the
out
mic.
loud. All right.
No.
So, in regards to that, we're still kind of short on budget either way, right?
Kind of, sort of. Anything really big, we aren't going to be able to do. But we got the rollover money. So if we're plan things out well enough, We have money to sustain us throughout the year. We just aren't going to be able to do grants this year. That's the cut and dry of it, and really.
But what if we're allowed, like, let's say it was something coming up in the next few months or something, we can put a table there, $500 or something.
Now, if you want us to go and sponsor it, then it's a 30-day thing like the trolley to be in the parade, or Candy Cane Lane is a big sponsorship amount. Then that requires the 30 days. Now, like with the handing out candy and tabling the event for Halloween, I don't have to do 30 days for that. I've talked to Anna, and she said that type of thing, it just needs about her time, like a couple weeks to approve it.
Weird.
It's weird. But it's the sponsorship and the big event participation thing, or if we wanted to do a emergency prep thing or something like that, our own event, it's 30 days at least.
Okay. Thank you.
Or a movie in the park, 30 days.
What?
Good lead in, Christina. We still should, since we have the rollover money in the account, I still say we should have a special meeting for just the budget to go over how we can do trade-offs, and maybe we can do grants and other things. And I know you may not want to do that, but I think we should.
I just don't.
We're limited budget, so we need to go through the trade-offs and see if we can find out ways of doing other things
I just
too.
don't think because we got the rollover money, it's necessary. I don't.
But you just said we can't do
only
grants. Maybe
trade-off
we can
that
do
we have
trade-offs
is
to
go
be able to
Zoom.
do
One
grants.
at a time, one at a time.
Is this agenda? Which one are you talking about?
So,
What do you mean by trade-offs? Like other? What do you mean by trade-offs? Like
Go
other
Zoom
events
full-time.
or something?
I did not say that, and I
Okay.
did not suggest that.
because I think it's appropriate. It's a good question, but I think that's an item that should probably go directly to Budget and Finance and the committee.
I mean, it is on the agenda. That's why I brought it up.
But you floated the idea, and now it's turning into a debate, and we're not going to be able to decide it here right now. So that's why I'm saying perhaps maybe it's
Understood.
good to have a larger, expansive conversation with the Budget and Finance.
In other words, if you're interested,
Already approved. That we
if
were
you're
gonna-
interested, go to that meeting to put in your input.
Yeah.
But is there a limit to how many board members can go just to participate as a stakeholder, or
They just go on the other as stakeholders and the other attendee.
Attendees, yes.
Anything else on that item?
No, thank you.
Okay. Move on to public safety.
No meeting due to Gimpy having surgery.
Who had surgery?
Huh?
Who had surgery? Oh, I knew you, but I didn't know Gimpy was.
Okay, next, youth and outreach. Chris, John, anyone?
We'll go ahead. Well, we basically just talked. We were supposed to have a special meeting for what you guys did for us at the executive, and but there were some family issues and stuff, so we missed it. But we talked about the different things. We're looking about doing a movie in the park in January, for this, because this is off. So this coming meeting, we'll talk about that and some other events that might be, that we can, the Easter egg hunt, that stuff will be coming up again. So, and might talk about whatever else we will come up on.
That's it? Yes. Okay, cool. Community issues?
In community issues, we talked about, we wanted to bring up the situation with alleys and stuff like that, but I got Christina Calandra and Adrian. They're both working on one of the letters. Adrian, did you guys find anything out yet for that?
No, I'm still working on the letter.
Huh?
I'm still working on the letter, but I did get your email with the pictures.
Huh?
I did get your email with the pictures.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we got to get more. I got them somewhere, and we're gonna try to get, the letter that Tim did. I think is that who, right? And then we're gonna see what we can do to get him to find out the bad ones, like the one we've got behind the Assistance League and stuff like that.
Okay.
they need to be, and some of these streets that have these trees are about ready to come out of the ground.
Okay.
They're getting pretty bad. So, we'll bring that up. We'll
Did
see
you
what
see-
they have in this.
You see the one in front of Target? How it's lifting like way up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that's it.
That's it. Thank you. Planning and land use and port. Excuse me, Tom, for a second. There's a lot of conversations going on in the back. We can hear them really plain up here because everything just echoes. So if you can be so kind as to maybe hold off on your conversations until after the meeting. We're almost through, to be honest with you. So just work with us so we can all get out of here early. Thank you.
I wanted to start the report by thanking all the committee members for the last 3 meetings for the time and effort they put in, as well as the joint planning and land use meeting. There's been lots of discussion on what we just voted on. I want to thank those of you who voted in favor. I think it was important. We also have been in a celebratory mood because of West Harbor, right? We actually have concrete things. There's been a lot of excitement, so this hard work can pay off. There can be a lot of good things, and I know people around this room and people in this area have been heard, and some of the changes have been made that are positive. So I'll keep that report brief and positive. I understand there's a question.
Oh, yes. In addition to the West Harbor and the 5 points, I have a question about the proposed Pier 500 terminal. Do you know anything about that? Has that come up at the meetings yet?
No, you just stumped me.
Okay, so on October 1st, the Port of Los Angeles is seeking proposals from interested parties to participate in the pre-development of Pier 500, which will be just south of Pier 400, which will impact, what the harbor looks like, and there's a little harbor seal rookery out there. So let's see, it looks like this request, like I said, was put out on October 1st. And they're accepting proposals through January 29th. Maybe we can talk later. I don't even know what my questions are. I was just wondering if it's come up yet and what the status of those discussions is.
It would have been wonderful if we would have had a port meeting that was canceled 1 or 2 days before, but I don't know much. I'm happy to talk to you
Okay,
afterwards
that would be
to get
great.
more,
Thank you.
and we'll report back next time, or Kane or Diana will. But thanks.
Okay, thanks.
John.
Tom, have they said anything about the Vincent Thomas Bridge?
We've talked about it, and we've heard things that other people have probably heard. Maybe others can be more eloquent. The last I kind of heard through the chamber meeting, people in the economic development meeting kind of summarized there seems to be very serious attention to it. Makes sense to make the bridge just a little bit taller at the same time it's resurfaced. If people aren't aware, there was a delay because one of the vendors had a product that was so heavy it would have collapsed the bridge. So those of us that are concerned that we have a Super Bowl, a World Cup, and Olympics coming, I think that Caltrans actually is getting a sense they can't pull this off before these events, and the governor won't like that, the president will not like that, the mayor won't like that. So my spider sense is telling me that we're probably not going to see any action until after the Olympics, given that, and in addition to the costs going up. So those are the things that I've heard that make me feel like we have some time. There's general San Pedro, Wilmington support that we don't fix the bridge twice for sure, even though the price tag that I think was quoted this morning was maybe $2 billion to do it right for the bigger ships. I think 40% of today's existing ships can't get into LA Harbor because of that, and the port, Gene Soroka is very interested in building a bridge for the next 100 years for the young people here, right, and not forcing them to pay taxes twice for 2 bridges. That's kind of in a nutshell without getting too detailed.
I talked to Lee on Saturday. They want to raise it 206, okay? And because of the container ships that are coming in, they're stacked a little higher, and they don't want to grudge under the water anymore. And if you've noticed that, why are they starting late? Now, what I've heard talking to one of the reps, they're not starting this until a year from now. What their plan was next fall to shut the bridge down completely because they want to finish harbor and the Gaffey entrance. They want to work on all of that, get that going. And as you know, if anybody doesn't know, they're shutting down Monday and Tuesday tonight. And next to 2021 and then 27 and 28. They're replacing the metal strips on the bridge. But to raise it and everything, that's going to be more than that 16 to 18 months. And
For 3 years, I heard it would be 3 years to do all.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
I saw Chris's hand up, then I saw yours, and then I saw.
So, this talk of, it's a bridge replacement project, and we just finished the International Gateway Bridge in Long Beach a couple of years ago. Is this? I remember seeing Gene Soroka mention his interest in for obvious reasons, in replacing the bridge. So when people talk about raising the bridge, really they mean rebuilding it, because you can't just take the existing structure. But is that talk, is it scuttlebutt? Is it sort of, obviously the port's got its position through the CEO and at least one member of the Harbor Commission, but from the state level, the federal level, is there any, because that's obviously where the money's going to have to come from and ultimately where the permissions and everything are going to have to be done. So is it something that's sort of creating a buzz locally, or is there anybody in, say, Sacramento or the DOT who's on that page? Because it sounds like literally, a heavy lift, but it's the sort of thing that, I think Long Beach took longer than 3 years from initial inception to cutting the ribbon. So, like, anything beyond, obviously, just redecking is already kind of on an ambitious time schedule. So this other thing would be, again, unless they're going to press a reset button. So I guess my question is ultimately, do you know where this is coming from other than inside the port, or are other parties taking this seriously?
Secondhand, from an understanding that people in Caltrans are starting to understand they might want to do a little bit more analysis. So agree, what we want to do in the committee is we want actual engineers, right? The port do a study, like show us. Some people say the stanchions can much less expensively just be extended the amount of feet they need for the bigger ships. But I don't know. I can't judge that. I would like somebody who's got the right skills and some reputation on the line. So it seems to be evolving a little bit beyond scuttlebutt, but there's enough issues. And in all honesty, I'm just expressing frustration. I think I expressed here and I've expressed at some of the meetings I've attended that the state has not done a very good job at listening to us, to our counselor, to our mayor. So all I have a sense is that they're listening, and maybe this type of outreach and folks like you speaking up could prevent a bad decision being made by a bunch of state bureaucrats who didn't seem to know Western, another project was being done at the same time as the bridge. So maybe it's working.
Well, I remember Caltrans engineer standing right over there telling us that there was no point in replacing the bridge at this point, and that was a couple of years ago. And so I guess at any point in time, unless it's coming from like the governor himself, we have to just sort of take that with a grain of salt.
If I can, the Caltrans has monthly meetings with their technical advisory group and their community advisory group, and it's essentially sharing the same information, but the issue of raising the bridge has been addressed or has been brought up in both those meetings, and me sitting in on those meetings and making an assessment as to just how they're receiving it. It kind of sounds to me like, thank you very much for the information. They won't even say we'll look into it. It kind of sounds to me like, says, well, we'll think about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how far along they're doing. It doesn't seem to be much enthusiasm.
They are the most frustrating meetings I've ever gone to because they don't even say they'll look into it. I've never seen it just like.
Yeah. Angela, and then Gwen.
So I just wanted to add, based on this discussion of raising the bridge, one of the pieces of information in the request for proposals for Pier 500 is that where they're planning on putting it south of Pier 400 is deep enough that they don't have to dredge, and they're listing it as a way of building cargo ship capacity without having to raise the bridge.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Adrian, don't want to miss you again.
Of course, you wouldn't want to. Going back to the joint planning, Atlantis, we had that committee meeting. It was, from my understanding, when we did have the joint planning, we did discuss it that this proposal would have to go to the governor's desk within a month. That was like late August. Is there any update on that? No.
No.
No, I mean, because I just think this idea of raising the bridge, I mean, you have to hit the reset button. Another study, another everything. And to do it this late in the game, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Wait, hold it. Gwen had her hand up, and you didn't. So will you please raise your hand so you can be recognized? Gwen?
I'm actually pretty fascinated that yes, there's been this talk. I guess it's from the commissioners, the port commissioners, that really brought this up, and it is amazing that it is so late in the game that they're now saying raise the bridge. Now I have a question. The bridge is actually a protected landmark. So how is that complicating raising the bridge? Will it have to remain intact, or can they replicate the bridge and make it actually sound for cargo that will soon be moving over for things like Pier 500 and that kind of thing?
If Adrian remembers differently in any meetings that he's gone to, I don't remember that being brought up, but I could just commit to ask about that. I wasn't even thinking about landmark, but that's a good question to ask.
John?
It's a suspended bridge, and suspended bridges, once the foundation is made, I'll give you a good example real quick. For over 150 years, Sicily to Reggio Calabria. No, they've been trying to build a bridge underwater, underground. They're just approved it. It was supposed to start in October. It's a 2.2-mile bridge. The longest bridge will be ever built from Italy to Sicily. And it's a suspension bridge. It will hold up to 250-mile-an-hour winds and everything. But the suspension of the bridge, it's leery, because it's a suspended bridge, just like this one. So raising it to 206 more, like Ray said, it's going to take years. Because, like Gwen says, and you got to have engineers go over this and this.
Yeah.
It's not, this is not millions. This is going to be $1 billion or $2 billion thing to even think about that. That's why the grudging is probably, but,
Okay. I appreciate all the comments. I think we need to kind of move on. But thank you for the report, Tom. Environment and sustainability. Christina?
Yes, this one.
Here you are.
Lori Jacobs has agreed, because I'm new to all of this, so we're going to hopefully set up our first meeting, and she'll be kind of helping me out since it'll be my first meeting. And then Gwen also mentioned interest. I haven't heard back from Jason, so if any of you out there are interested in our environment and you want to join the Environment and Sustainability Committee, please take a look at our website for when we have our first meeting. Thank you. Oh, yes.
Tom.
Do you have a day? I can look, but I can look to see if I'm available now. Do you know what day of the month you're planning?
Well, technically, it's supposed to be next Tuesday according to the schedule.
So you're following the same one.
But I think we need to figure out a different day because I don't think Lori was available.
Okay. Stay
So
tuned. Thank you.
trying to fit in another day because there's so many meetings, but I'm open to suggestions or Zoom.
Okay. Any other? No? Okay. Moving on to executive committee, I'll tell you basically some of the stuff that I might have already mentioned. The Phillips 66 project is way up there on top of our priority list, along with planning and land use and port committee. The other thing too is the Vincent Thomas Bridge, very much again important to the work that we do that affects us very much. The other thing, too, is we've been putting a lot of effort, as I said earlier, about the fact that we need plenty of time to make our comments. So I've been working with the councilman's office, and also I had conversation with the mayor's office regarding our need to have the 90-day. But I'll be honest with you, I think any time that we are asked to provide any kind of comment on projects from the city, neighborhood councils need to have a 90-day period, comment period, and so I'm planning to have a conversation with our Board of Neighborhood Commissioners and see if there's something that we might be able to advocate for, as we move forward. So I'll go ahead and leave it at that. That's kind of where we've been at. Any questions? No hands? Okay, we'll move on to the Christensen Science Center.
No news.
I must have missed that. What was that?
No news.
All right. Okay, we're going to move on to item number 9, liaison reports, animal shelter. Christina?
Yes, the first item I wanted to mention, which some people may have heard about, is this weekend Tim McCosker went to our harbor shelter and was denied access. So that was brought up on the Animal Services meeting this morning. And then I also mentioned that I, too, have been denied access.
You have too?
Yes. I was hoping once I had business cards, I could say, listen, I really am who I say I am, and get access. But the fact that Tim did not get access is quite a big deal as far as transparency.
Yeah.
So that issue was brought up.
That's terrible.
They're
I'm
hiding.
sorry. Go ahead.
Did they give a reason?
No, he was just denied access.
So what capacity were you going to go to a meeting over there, or
No.
were you just wanting to go in?
I was interested in seeing the back of the kennels and making sure that they are cleaned according to the last CIS that was Tim signed, I think in May or June, regarding cleaning kennels.
So you wanted to go in where the dog kennels are in the back on the
I just wanted to go through the glass door, just to even see the dogs. to
even
make
like
sure.
where the kittens are and all of that?
Not inside the lobby area, but on the other side. Because there have been so many complaints about dirty kennels and discontamination. So I wanted to see it for myself and wasn't able to. But you can go to other shelters, and like I can go to the Carson shelter and go and see that it's cleaned.
That's a county shelter, though.
Oh, yes, that's a county shelter.
Gwen had her hand up, and then Angela, you'll be next.
We as a neighborhood council have the opportunity to create a letter concerning that, asking for an answer why it's being denied. We can give that to Tim McCosker. We can create a process. As far as being invited there with a business card, perhaps an appointment, even though that's not they could fix everything for that
Christina, why don't you come to public safety meeting this month and we'll draft a letter.
But regarding that, remember that we have the opportunity to take this to because there's no animal shelter, council file necessarily at this moment. We can take it to that commission, that committee, that commissioners, what are they called? Anyway, the Animal Services Commission.
Yeah.
And we present it formally. We have a responsibility for the shelter because it is in our community. Period.
Yep.
If you could work with Christina.
Yeah, well, the public safety
that would
will
be
work
great.
with her and we'll do a letter.
That would be fine.
Gwen?
Adrian?
Help draft something up.
Just because I haven't been there in years, it's not public? It's not a public facility?
Yes, it is. It is public.
Not the back. Touring the back is a different situation.
But in the back where the cages are and the kennels, that's not where the dogs are. That's not public.
No, not where yeah.
It's not even behind the scenes, not the dark room or anything like that. Just getting in to view the dogs. I think he was, Tim, this is hearsay, that he was going and doing an outreach.
If you can maybe find out what that looks like and then include that in a letter, that would be great.
And then, Gwen, just to let you know, there is a council file regarding kennel cleaning, and that is council file 25-0343.
0343? Okay.
0343.
2503.
Let her repeat it, please.
Okay.
25-0343.
43.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And then I also wanted to make sure that the community is aware that distemper is on the rise. So what that means is dogs need to be vaccinated. The raccoons that we have running around here are carriers. So just an outreach to the community to make sure that their dogs are vaccinated for distemper, because it's a really horrible condition. And then we also requested the outcomes for the positive outcomes from Kristen Hassan, which we did not get. And we also asked for a review of the adoption protocols, along with the review of the staff hiring process and what their task list. So we're waiting for all of that. And I believe some of that might be Council File 22-0159.
01 what?
59.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you.
Angela.
Just one quick question regarding the day that the council member and yourself were denied access. Was that a day that they were open, or was it a Monday and he wanted additional access?
It was on Sunday.
No, it was Sunday.
On Sunday? Wow. Okay. Thank you.
And I also forgot to mention that there are upcoming adoption events for low cost adoption. So you can check the website, but right here at the Harbor Shelter.
Thank you.
Basically, it's being sponsored every weekend till the end of the year.
Gwen, last question so we can move on.
This is actually in regards to distemper. If you see a raccoon during the day, already be concerned. One of the things that happens, maybe you guys can Google what it looks like, but it's the raccoon may be gritting its teeth and then shaking it off. But as soon as you see one during the day, there's a problem. And once again, this is part of my LA 311, but it is also part of the county. The county also has something where you can report. That's probably the best way to do it. It wouldn't be animal control because they're wild animals. But that would show that it's in the community and that your dogs and your cats are vulnerable. And it's a terrible, terrible thing.
However, cats don't get the distemper that the raccoons carry.
My mistake.
Thank you. Next.
Can I just say something?
Okay, that was going to be the last.
I wanted to say something about the raccoon thing. Because of the feeding patterns, I was told that that's not always necessarily true, that the raccoons that you see during the day are not always contaminated or have issues. It's because their feeding habits have changed and they're being fed, getting food in the day, in the morning, and at different times. So, like, if you go to Royal Palm or Point Furman Park, there's all kinds of raccoons out during the day because the cats are fed at that time and they come out to eat. And I checked on that to verify that, because around the school we had some, and they said that's not necessarily true that they're ill. It could be their feeding patterns.
Yeah,
it's not like it was before.
I said, look at YouTube and look at some of the behavior.
We need to move on. Thank you. Public Works Liaison, Chris?
No report.
No report. Let's see. DWP, Dan, Christina, anything?
No comment other than at the Congress of Neighborhoods, I did do some outreach with LADWP in reference to the Environment and Sustainability Committee and possible
unification of something in the future.
Thank you. LA Film Liaison, Cynthia's not here.
No, she just said that the Rock movie was pretty good.
Okay, I think we could have done without that. Sustainability Alliance. Christina?
The meeting on Sunday was about LA Public Bank, which that is something that I was unaware of. So I received some reference materials, but basically the entire meeting was about the LA Public Bank and the possibility of LA Public Bank, which you guys might be aware of.
One thing I need to find out from you, do you need a BAC to show that we appointed you in order for you to be official with them?
Yes.
That's what I thought. I'll make one up and have it signed.
But I can still go as I can still attend as a stakeholder.
Right, but to
no
make
comment.
you the official appointee.
Yes.
Okay.
Tom?
Just wanted to encourage you to do that. I attended that. I think Adrian might have been on the Zoom as well. It was very interesting. Were you on the public bank one on Sunday night? So I didn't exactly know what it was about, but from a budget advocate representative, we were encouraged to attend. So, thank you. Where it relates to sustainability is it could be a way to support conversions to solar and other things, seeing we see federal tax credits going out. So those that are interested in sustainability, I think it's a really good fit, but I think it could be of interest to people with like concerns about homelessness and other issues.
Yeah, that's right. Sunday they had that public bank thing at their thing. I couldn't. I was already committed to something else.
It was better than I thought.
Data liaisons?
No report.
None?
Nothing.
None? Announcements?
Oh, actually, I did have, because we're sort of reconfiguring and sort of maybe reimagining some of the committees, if any of the committee chairs have announcements, say, for meeting times or any programs or projects, and you wanted to have those publicized, if you could come up with at least sort of a sketch or a concept of any sort of social media post you might want and forward that to me, or even just could you come up with something to publicize our meeting time, you can email me those directly, and I can circulate stuff like that. And they tend to help, improve the profile of your committee meetings, and for people who aren't going to go to the website to find the time, it's a good place to look.
Also, bring up we have the youth seat, they can go online. Anybody,
Yeah, and we are currently taking applications for our youth board seat.
16. We have it's 14 visitors.
Yeah, it's basically if you're 16 to 18 years old and are interested in all this, you have a seat on the board as a full voting member. It's a great way to learn how stuff works at city government, and you have a chance to be involved and direct some of the activities that the committee and the board does. So, yeah, if you're interested, go to nwsanpedro.org.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you.
I got an announcement.
I think I saw Christina. Tom, did I see your hand? Tom, and then you.
Okay.
Well, Melanie might be asking the question that I'm thinking.
No.
Last meeting, it was brought up by LAPD that there's the haunted house and that they might need.
I've not seen any advertisement for it.
I haven't. Hello.
So.
I haven't.
Oh, you haven't?
It's just going to be a few of us. It's no big deal.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you don't need help?
If you
We
want.
should put it on our website.
Yeah, I'll put it out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Announce it to everybody else, though.
Tom?
I just wanted to speak to the youth here, having had 3 of my children serve as the rep, knowing a little bit about it. It can be very good if you're looking to go to college, great experience. It does mean you have to come to this meeting once a month. But the students, who I've seen, that, including like 3 that weren't my own children, very, very beneficial. My youngest got an award from Congress, was able to take some of the volunteering and get recognized with a Congress award. So I just wanted to make the pitch. If you're at all interested, I'm staying around, so just look for me or look for others, and we'll tell you a little bit more about it, because it's really a shame. Most neighborhood councils don't have a youth rep. We actually believe in you and your future. So this is something that they're trying to make citywide, but we started here first, and you could be our next youth rep. So please contact somebody.
Thank you.
And if you can't be the youth rep, always consider a committee. All of these things look really great on the college app. So
Thank you. Any other
Yeah.
announcements?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's more a request than anything. I'm going to ask board members stay as many as possible to sign student sheets so that we can get them all tackled.
Okay.
Not have them jump, make two lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Figure that out after we.
Yeah, no, I was about to say.
Okay. All right. Last agenda item, general public comments. Last opportunity for general public comments. I don't think we have any, except this is what I'm going to say to the board. Board, you've got to have your monthly committee meetings. And for those people who are on committees, you've got to attend your committee meetings, because I've attended a couple and they didn't have quorum, so they really couldn't have a meeting. So please attend your meetings if you're a board member, so that you can make quorum. I mean, if you're a committee member, please. And get your peers to jump on them too.
And also make sure you submit your reports.
Yes, please send your reports so that we can include them in our agenda package. And with that, next meeting is November 10th at 6, and we are adjourned.